Most people believe they're making the right choice when they reach for a handful of nuts. They've been told for decades that nuts are one of the healthiest foods on earth. Doctors recommend them. Dietitians praise them. Grocery stores place them in the heart-healthy aisle. But what almost no one tells you is this. After the age of 60, certain nuts don't protect your health anymore. They quietly work against it. And the most disturbing part? The very nuts marketed as superfoods for seniors may be accelerating inflammation, damaging organs, and increasing the risk of memory loss without a single warning label. Here's the reality few people talk about. Aging changes how your body processes fats, minerals, toxins, and plant compounds. Foods that were harmless at 40 can become harmful at 65. And nuts are one of the most misunderstood examples of this shift. Recent clinical data shows that eliminating just one specific nut from the diet of older adults led to measurable reductions in systemic inflammation, improved blood markers, and noticeably sharper mental clarity within weeks. At the same time, adding the right nuts produced dramatic improvements in heart health, brain function, and even sleep quality. Yet this information rarely reaches the public. It stays buried in medical journals, nutrition databases, and geriatric research papers that most people never read. That changes today. In this video, you'll learn exactly which 4 nuts become harmful after 60, why they affect older bodies differently, and what science says about the 4 nuts that actively support longevity, memory, and mobility. And pay close attention to the final 2 on each list. One commonly sold as healthy has been linked to a significantly higher stroke risk in older adults, while the top nut you should eat daily has been associated with a dramatically lower risk of Alzheimer's disease. Before we begin, take a moment to think about this. Have you ever noticed stiffness, brain fog, digestive discomfort, or fatigue after eating nuts? And which nuts do you eat most often right now? Share your answers in the comments. We actively read them and tailor guidance based on real experiences. Now let's begin with number 4 on the danger list, because chances are it's already sitting in your kitchen. Teach E4 nuts to avoid after 60. Number 4. Macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are rich, creamy, and often viewed as a luxury health snack. But for adults over 60, they place a heavy burden on systems that are already slowing down. Macadamias contain more fat than any other tree nut. And while fat isn't inherently bad, aging metabolism processes it very differently. Liver efficiency declines steadily with age, particularly when it comes to breaking down dense fat loads. When macadamias are eaten regularly, this excess fat can linger in the bloodstream longer than it should, leading to elevated triglycerides and unfavorable cholesterol patterns. Over time, this contributes to arterial stiffness and plaque formation. Long-term observational research involving adults over 60 found that frequent macadamia consumption was associated with higher rates of arterial plaque buildup compared to those who avoided them. The issue wasn't just quantity, it was how aging bodies responded to the nut's specific fatty acid profile. There's also a mineral concern. Macadamias contain phosphorus, which becomes problematic as kidney filtration efficiency declines with age. Excess phosphorus can contribute to vascular calcification, essentially hardening the arteries from the inside out. One retired professional in his late 60s believed he was doing everything right by snacking on macadamias nightly. Yet, blood work revealed severely elevated triglycerides and declining cardiovascular endurance. When macadamias were removed and replaced with almonds, his markers normalized within 2 months and his stamina returned. For those over 60, macadamias are best avoided or consumed only on rare occasions. Almonds or walnuts provide similar satisfaction without the metabolic strain. Number 3. Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts are often promoted as anti-aging due to their selenium content, but this reputation is dangerously misleading for older adults. Selenium is essential, but the dose matters. Each Brazil nut contains far more selenium than most people realize. Just a few nuts can push intake well beyond safe limits, particularly in seniors whose kidneys no longer clear excess minerals efficiently. Chronic selenium overload can lead to symptoms that are frequently mistaken for normal aging: brittle hair, nail changes, neurological tremors, mood disturbances, and memory issues. Over time, selenium accumulates in brain tissue, particularly in areas associated with memory formation. Clinical monitoring of older adults who consume Brazil nuts regularly revealed a surprisingly high rate of selenium toxicity symptoms, many of which resolved only after months of dietary correction. There's another issue few people mention. Brazil nuts naturally absorb heavy minerals from the soil, including barium. Barium interferes with potassium signaling in the heart and can increase the risk of irregular heart rhythms, especially in seniors already taking cardiac medications. One woman in her early 70s began eating Brazil nuts daily after reading about their antioxidant benefits. Within months, she developed tremors and hair loss severe enough to raise neurological concerns. Blood testing revealed selenium levels several times above the normal range. Once the nuts were eliminated and mineral balance restored, her symptoms gradually disappeared. For selenium, safer sources include eggs, fish, sunflower seeds, and whole grains, all of which provide balanced amounts without toxicity risk. Number 2. Peanuts. Peanuts are not true nuts. They're legumes, and they present a unique set of risks for older adults. The greatest concern is contamination with aflatoxins, naturally occurring compounds produced by mold during storage. Even trace amounts place stress on the liver, which already loses detoxification efficiency with age. Regulatory limits exist, but studies suggest older adults tolerate these toxins far less effectively. Over time, aflatoxins accumulate rather than being cleared, increasing oxidative stress and inflammatory load. Peanuts also contain disproportionately high omega-6 fats. While omega-6 is necessary, excessive intake without adequate omega-3 creates a pro-inflammatory state linked to arthritis progression, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. Digestive tolerance is another issue. As stomach acid production declines with age, peanut proteins become harder to break down, leading to bloating, fermentation, and nutrient malabsorption. Additionally, immune sensitivity to peanuts can emerge later in life. Rather than dramatic allergic reactions, this often appears as chronic inflammation, joint discomfort, fatigue, and mental fog. One longtime peanut butter enthusiast in her 70s experienced worsening arthritis and mental fatigue for years. When peanuts were removed entirely and liver support introduced, her symptoms improved markedly within weeks. Healthier alternatives include pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, almond butter, or sesame-based tahini. Number 1. Cashews. Cashews are the most problematic nut for adults over 60 and one of the most misunderstood. They contain high levels of oxalates, compounds that bind calcium and promote kidney stone formation. As kidney function naturally declines with age, oxalates accumulate more easily, increasing the risk of painful stones requiring medical intervention. Cashews also contain residual amounts of urushiol-related compounds, the same irritants found in poison ivy. While processing removes most of it, trace amounts can trigger inflammatory reactions in aging immune systems. Blood sugar is another concern. Cashews are relatively high in carbohydrates and can cause glucose spikes, especially in individuals with insulin resistance or prediabetes, conditions affecting nearly half of adults over 65. Perhaps most concerning is phytic acid. Cashews interfere with absorption of zinc, magnesium, and iron, minerals critical for muscle strength, immunity, and brain health in older adults. Processing methods add further risk. Many cashews are roasted in low-quality oils or treated with preservatives that increase oxidative stress. One grandmother in her early 70s struggled with recurring kidney stones, joint inflammation, and unexplained skin reactions. After removing cashews and introducing walnuts and pistachios, her inflammatory markers dropped dramatically and her symptoms resolved. Cashews are best eliminated entirely after 60. THE4 nuts TOEAT daily after 60. Now that we've identified the harmful ones, let's shift focus to the nuts that actively support healthy aging. Number 4. Pecans. Pecans are one of the most underappreciated nuts for older adults. They contain exceptionally high levels of antioxidants that combat age-related oxidative stress, a major driver of inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. Their fat profile closely mirrors that of olive oil, supporting heart health while reducing inflammatory signaling. Pecans also help stabilize blood sugar despite their natural sweetness. Long-term cognitive research has shown that older adults who consume pecans regularly experience slower memory decline and maintain greater brain volume in key cognitive regions. One older man with poorly controlled blood sugar added a small daily serving of pecans before meals. Within months, his glucose control improved significantly, allowing for reduced medication. For best results, consume about 1 ounce daily, raw or lightly toasted, without added salt. Number 3. Pistachios. Pistachios offer unique benefits for vision, circulation, and muscle preservation. They're rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that protect the retina and reduce the risk of macular degeneration. They also provide high-quality plant protein that supports muscle maintenance without stressing aging kidneys. Clinical trials have shown pistachios improve blood vessel flexibility and lower blood pressure in adults over 60. Their fiber content also supports digestive health and gut microbiome diversity. A retired nurse with worsening vision began eating pistachios daily. 6 months later, her eye exam stabilized, her blood pressure dropped, and her energy improved noticeably. Aim for 1 ounce daily, preferably in shell and unsalted. Number 2. Almonds. Almonds are one of the most powerful anti-aging foods available. They're rich in vitamin E, magnesium, and compounds that protect brain cells from oxidative damage. Magnesium deficiency is extremely common after 60 and contributes to poor sleep, muscle cramps, and heart rhythm issues. Almonds provide a highly absorbable form that works synergistically with other nutrients. Large population studies show consistent almond consumption dramatically lowers cardiovascular risk while improving cholesterol balance. Almonds also nourish beneficial gut bacteria, reducing systemic inflammation. One older professional suffering from insomnia and high cholesterol experienced major improvements after incorporating soaked almonds daily. His sleep normalized, and his lipid profile improved enough to reduce medication. Soak almonds overnight to maximize nutrient absorption. Consume about 20 to 25 daily. Number 1. Walnuts. Walnuts are the most powerful nut for brain aging and overall longevity. They're the richest plant source of alpha-linolenic acid, a form of omega-3 critical for reducing inflammation and protecting neural tissue. Extensive research links walnut consumption to lower rates of Alzheimer's disease, improved memory, and healthier brain wave activity in older adults. Walnuts also significantly reduce heart attack and stroke risk while supporting healthy sleep due to their natural melatonin content, something the body produces far less of after 60. One retired professor with early cognitive decline regained independence after adopting a daily walnut protocol. Years later, she remains mentally sharp and fully self-sufficient. Consume 1 to 2 ounces daily, ideally in the evening. Store walnuts in the freezer to protect their oils. The foods you eat after 60 don't just fuel your body, they shape how you age. By removing the 4 harmful nuts and embracing the 4 healing ones, you can reduce inflammation, protect your brain, support your heart, and preserve independence. Start small. Make one change this week. Your future self will thank you. Now tell us, which nut surprised you the most today? Have you noticed changes after eating certain nuts? Share your experience in the comments. Thanks for watching.